Hey guys, I'm going to show you a quick video on how to set a cable restraint here in Wisconsin for canines. Targeting coyotes, might pick up a fox in this set. This is, as you can see, this is a nice game trail coming off of not a very busy road, but it goes along a fence line here where they don't really cross at all. So this is used pretty heavily. Besides setting on sign, the next most important thing I look for when setting a cable is that it's legal. So in Wisconsin, we can't set a cable that's gonna wrap around anything greater than a 1/2 inch diameter that's rooted. So this set was perfect except for this one tree that was right over here to my left. It is around that 1/2 inch diameter mark, but it's better safe than sorry. If the animal wraps around this, it becomes a snare, a lethal snare, and will kill the animal. And so we have to have ours completely entanglement free. So I just went ahead and ripped it right out. Once it's not rooted anymore, it's not illegal. The other option is you can use a saw and sever them off right at the ground level. I just ripped it right out because this is kind of a peat mossy area. This is how I travel with my cable restraints. I pre-bag them ahead of the season in Ziploc bags. It has nothing to do with scent or anything. It's simply so they don't become a tangled mess in the back of my truck. And it's just easier to carry, to throw 5 or 6 of these in a 5-gallon bucket, and then they're all individually bagged. I have my earth anchor already attached on here. This is a 1x19, 350-pound breakaway relaxing cable restraint made by Brian McKee at Southern Snares. It's the Cadillac of cable restraints as far as the legalities in Wisconsin goes. So there's nothing better. The 7x7. This is the one with the mid swivel. Nothing else compares. So the 1x19, 350-pound breakaway. Mid swivel is the very best that you can get, and you can see we have no snow right now. The season's been open for about a week, yet we don't have any snow, and so that's why this mid swivel is even more important, because chances are this bottom swivel is going to get stuck with grass and debris, and that's when you have those chew outs because the cable will bird cage. So this mid swivel is so important, especially though when we don't have snow. So I'm going to go ahead and the only reason I chose this spot is on the trail. There's just a couple pieces of berry brush that are outlining the trail perfectly, and that's it. You know, the coyotes are used to chasing bunnies through this berry brush, so pushing through the cable isn't going to bother them at all. So I'm going to go ahead and get this anchored. Now we have a little bit of frost, so getting it started might be troublesome here, and I usually go maybe like 4 inches off the side of the trail where I anchor it. I don't do any prep work to my cables ahead of time, just put them in the bag. Sometimes I'll just sprinkle maybe some peat moss or some dirt in there just to dull them. But otherwise, just doing a light coat of like tan spray paint is good enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this anchored. So this is the heavy duty Wolfing earth anchor that Brian makes at Southern Snares. It's awesome. You can see it doesn't even really mushroom out. He makes them definitely to last through Wisconsin winters. So I love these heavy duty drivers. I only pound down as far as the earth anchor is because I want that swivel to be out and functioning. I usually kind of tuck it back down in the hole. And then I'll just use my wire as my support. And you gotta kind of finagle it around. Loop size and height and everything is totally dependent on the trapper. As a rule of thumb, I usually do like 9x9, so a 9-inch loop here, 9 inches off the ground. We do have some regulations with how high or low it can be and whatnot, but I don't get anywhere close to that, so it doesn't really matter, for this video at least. I go ahead and put that cable. I usually have it touch whatever's on the side. And then you just kind of, I like these plastic poly supports instead of the corkscrew universal ones, because these really freeze tight and they won't fall off with wind, or if deer come by and walk, it won't fall off at all. The mid swivels stick out a little bit. So I like to, let's see if I can find, I like to just take another piece of grass or whatever and just put it right across that mid swivel just to break it up a little bit more. I'm going to take some leaves to cover my swivel and trap tag up so it's not quite as shiny. Other than that, there's not a whole lot needed, except for I'm going to put another pilot hole over here. I'm going to throw this stick in there just again to help break up the outline of my cable. And finally, I just need a little chin lift, so I'm going to anticipate they're probably coming off the road. They could be coming from the camera angle, but that's fine. So right underneath the cable, I literally just put a little chin lift poking up. And then this looks pretty good. I could do that over here on this side too. And the reason for the chin lift is canines are running trails with their nose to the ground. So they have their nose to the ground, they're going to hit that, and they just instinctively raise their nose right into the loop. And then I always keep the lock at about 11 o'clock. So here's, well, I guess it'd be 1 o'clock for you guys. Here's noon. So that way deer, when they're walking through, they don't knock it. If you have it on the other side, as soon as deer bump it, it's going to fall. So I always have it about 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock, whatever. I have it offset a little bit. And that's about it. So these got to be checked every single day. You can see it's going to be real easy though to check from the road. And yeah, we'll see what we catch.